It started with a single bounce, a basketball echoing through a military gym somewhere in New York. Cameras rolled, and the internet caught fire. The new president of New York, a figure barely a few weeks into office, was seen dribbling and laughing with US military officials. What looked like a simple game quickly became a viral storm, raising questions no one saw coming. Was this a friendly match, or a message to the world? What did this mean for politics, power, and perception in America's most watched city? Within hours, the clip dominated social media. On X, formerly Twitter, hashtags like #PresidentOnTheCourt and #HoopDiplomacy began trending. News outlets scrambled to verify the footage. Was it staged, spontaneous, or symbolic? The video, only 90 seconds long, showed the president scoring a clean shot before high-fiving a general in uniform. The audience behind the camera erupted. It wasn't just a game. It was a performance that blurred the line between politics and pop culture. Basketball courts have long been places of teamwork, strategy, and competition. To see a political leader step into that space with the military, America's most disciplined institution, carried undeniable symbolism. Analysts began to interpret it as a gesture of unity between civic leadership and defense forces, but others saw something else, a carefully orchestrated move designed to reshape public perception in a time of tension and division. The man behind the moment, President Alex Carter, rose from the streets of Brooklyn to the highest political seat in the state's history. Known for his charisma and unconventional leadership style, Carter represents a new era of American politics, bold, media-savvy, and unafraid to blur formal lines. His administration promised transparency, youth engagement, and governance with energy, but few expected him to express that energy through a basketball game with generals. Reports confirmed that several top U.S. military officials were present during the game. General Marcus Bradley, commander of the Eastern Defense Division, was seen passing the ball. Rear Admiral Linda Torres acted as referee. Their casual laughter and teamwork with the president painted a picture of unusual ease, a sight rarely captured on camera. It raised one question: was this planned diplomacy or genuine camaraderie? Public response was split right down the middle. Supporters praised Carter for humanizing leadership, saying it was refreshing to see a president who could connect beyond the podium. Critics, however, called it a PR stunt, arguing that leadership should be demonstrated through policy, not play. Cable networks replayed the clip endlessly, each pundit offering a different spin, some admiring the gesture, others dissecting its motives. Political analysts began speculating whether the event was tied to a larger strategy. The US had recently been realigning domestic defense policies, and Carter's administration had been under scrutiny for military budget proposals. Was this game a subtle handshake of understanding between the political and defense sectors, or was it a calculated distraction from controversies brewing? Sources who attended the event described a surprisingly informal atmosphere. No teleprompters, no podiums, just sneakers squeaking and basketballs flying. Yet, several high-end cameras were strategically positioned, suggesting the moment was meant to be seen. It didn't feel random, said one attendee. It felt like we were watching history being staged with style. When pressed by reporters the next day, President Carter smiled and replied, "Leadership isn't about distance, it's about connection. And sometimes, the best diplomacy starts with a game." His comment went instantly viral, shared across global outlets. The phrase "hoop diplomacy" entered headlines, echoing through newsrooms and classrooms alike. World leaders took note. Some congratulated Carter for his unconventional outreach. Others viewed the spectacle skeptically, questioning whether such informality diminished the dignity of the office. In Europe and Asia, the video was broadcast as a symbol of America's evolving leadership culture, youthful, unpredictable, and media. Carter's basketball diplomacy highlights a 21st century truth: image and narrative matter as much as policy. In an age where public opinion can swing in seconds, leaders increasingly rely on symbolic acts to define their persona. For Carter, the court became a stage, a place where authenticity and ambition met under bright gym lights. Social platforms amplified the story beyond control. TikTok edits added dramatic music. YouTube breakdowns analyzed every frame. Even late-night talk shows joined in, parodying the president's no-look pass. The meme economy exploded, and Carter's approval ratings, for better or worse, climbed 5 points overnight. Days later, General Bradley addressed the press, saying, "It was just a friendly game. No politics, just people." But few believed that explanation at face value. Political strategists suggested that even if it began casually, its release timing was too perfect to be accidental. The White House remained silent, letting speculation fuel the fire. Within weeks, the event became part of campaign speeches and college debates. Carter's supporters called it a slam dunk for public unity. Opponents countered that it trivialized leadership. Still, the numbers didn't lie. His engagement with younger demographics skyrocketed. For many voters, Carter was no longer just a name in a suit. He was someone who could play, laugh, and lead. This incident revealed something deeper about modern governance, the merging of entertainment and authority. From televised debates to viral videos, leaders now operate in a hybrid space, part politician, part performer. Carter's basketball game may have just defined that new balance. Journalists later discovered that the game had been planned a week in advance as part of a community engagement initiative. Still, the narrative had already escaped its origin. What mattered wasn't the logistics, it was the story the world wanted to see. Power meeting play. Whether you loved or loathed the spectacle, one thing became clear: leadership in the digital era demands connection. Carter understood that optics can inspire as effectively as speeches. His move reminded people that confidence and humility can share the same court. Still, not everyone was convinced. Some senators demanded transparency about the event's funding. A few commentators accused Carter of turning politics into performance art. Governance isn't a game, one headline read. Or is it? Asked another. As time passed, the video became part of pop culture history. Documentaries analyzed it as a case study in modern communication strategy. The gym where it happened was renamed Unity Court, and once again, the line between history and hype blurred beautifully. In the end, the basketball wasn't just a prop, it was a metaphor. It represented rhythm, teamwork, and resilience, values at the heart of both sports and leadership, whether deliberate or spontaneous. Carter's game told a story that even in a world divided by politics, a single pass, a shared laugh, and a well-timed shot can still unite people, if only for a moment.